Hey guys, Jared James here, and really excited to say that we have now announced the dates for our next Mastermind in Vegas. We used to try to do this twice a year. Now I do this about once a year, but it's one of my favorite events that I do. It is going to take place on August 19th and August 20th, which is a Monday and Tuesday. You want to fly in on Sunday beforehand, and then a lot of people usually leave on Wednesday, give us a chance to kind of hang on Tuesday since we're so business focused during those days on Monday and Tuesday. Before I even get into this, I want to say first off who this is not for. If you follow me, you know that I do a lot of events that are really for everybody, that are for the masses, that literally people that are, you know, in there just kind of like serving and pouring coffee and whatever, get something out of that event. This is not that event, okay? If you're somebody that's just trying to figure out how to go from 15 transactions to 20 transactions, go watch YouTube or follow on Instagram or do something like that. That is not what this event is, okay? What this event is really all about is really because of who I am as my core. I'm an entrepreneur. Many of you know me as a speaker, trainer, coach, whatever within the industry, but I'm purebred entrepreneur. And one of the things I always try to do is I try to get so many of you to think of yourselves in the exact same way. Think of yourselves from an entrepreneurial perspective. Think of yourselves from the perspective of when a great deal comes up, you're not trying to think of which investor can I sell this to. You're instead thinking, how can I take this on? How can I add to my portfolio? And thinking much more like an entrepreneur. And yet when you look at our industry as a whole, we are an industry that goes to hours and hours of real estate classes that teach them how to pass a test, but not really how to run a business. And one thing that I know after dealing with thousands and thousands of real estate people all over North America and beyond is that you're either going to run a business or you're going to run around. It's one or the other, okay? And so what we really try to do at this event, and I said it earlier, this is probably my favorite thing that we do, you know, is that we get to really show you how to go from having a hobby to having a business. And I don't mean that in any kind of disrespectful way about your business, but how you really know whether you have a hobby or you have a business is what happens if I remove you from that situation? What happens if you go on vacation? What happens if you get sick? Does that business continue to run forward? If it's not going to run the same way as when you're there, then that's not really a business, that's a hobby. And what I'm really excited about this particular mastermind is that I'm actually going to have Rick Fuller there. Usually I do these with Mark. This time I'm going to have Rick Fuller there. And Rick is not only the coach of our coaches for all of our team leader coaching students and those things. He was actually, or actually still is, has the #1 team in San Francisco Bay, has the #1 team in Sacramento County, has over 500 five-star reviews online, which is crazy. We're going to show you how that actually happens, like how do you get that many reviews and what kind of businesses that actually lead to. But they also do over $100 million in production year over year over year, okay? A lot of you know that when I was selling, I was the #1 agent in the country under the age of 30. You know, and I think a lot of people kind of forget that. You get into the whole watch a motivational clip or something, and you forget about the business side. And so this is an opportunity for the right people to get into a suite in Vegas with me and Rick, basically jeans and a t-shirt, no dressing up, none of that. Open up the laptops and really kind of like pull back the hood and say, hey, how exactly does that happen? And what's really cool about it is that some of you that'll be there, you've got different aspirations. Some of you want to have a 4-person operation, a company. Some of you want a 40-person. Some of you want to be the head marketer, but you want everything else to run without you. Some of you just want to go on listing appointments. Some of you want to actually build something that someone else runs. You've all got different aspirations. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually cover those different organizational models and show you step by step how you get to each one of those. And it's going to mean different things to each one of you. But what's really cool about being in that room is we have an agenda. We have the systems we want to show you. We want to help you set them up on the spot. We have the processes. We have all these kinds of things. But while we have an agenda to follow, the truth is that we might have something that we were thinking was going to take 15 minutes or was going to take whatever, and then we spend 3 hours on it. Because it's what you actually need. And the mastermind is one of those things where you expedite that process, where you expedite that growth process. And for you, maybe you just came through the spring market and maybe you had a good spring and you made a lot of money but you went crazy and you're like, I can't keep doing this year after year. Like I need system, I need process, I need a company, I need something more than me being everything to every single person. I need something more than if they need a marketer, I'm the person. If they need a buyer agent, I'm the person. If they need a listing agent, I'm the person. If they need, an ISA, I'm the person. If they need a counselor, I'm the person. If they need, if you want something more than that and you want to learn how to actually do that and what that looks like and be a part of that, where we open the hood and show you exactly what it looks like to actually run a business, this is the place to come to expedite that process over 2 full days, just surrounded by other smart people, but then myself and Rick also helping you with everything you need to know and helping you implement on the spot. This is the place you want to do that. Now, this is not, I said, something that's open to everybody. This is not cheap. This isn't a $29 and come on in and hopefully you get something. This is something that costs $5,000 per person. And for the right people, that's cheap compared to the results that we've had with the people that have come in the past. And there are some things in your life that you have to think about, not what they cost, but what it costs not to have them, right? Marketing in your business may cost a lot, but you know what costs even more? Being invisible in your business, okay? And so something like this, you don't just look at, oh, it's $5K plus my travel. It's how much more, not just money you can make, not more revenue that you can create, which you absolutely can, but how much more free time can I create? How much more, you have to look at that full picture, because there are moments in people's lives that they get to have where they can remember that was the tipping point. That's when everything changed. That's when something clicked. And what I love about the Mastermind is for so many of you, this is that moment, okay? So, if you want to apply for this and be considered to be one of those people in the room, it tends to fill up kind of quick. What you're going to want to do is, depending on where you're watching this, I don't know if you're on our website, if you're on Instagram, if you're, wherever you are, there's going to be an apply button there. You're going to want to fill that out. One of the people from my company will be in touch right away to do a consult to make sure that you're right for what we're trying to do here. Answer all of your questions, because I'm sure that you have a lot of questions that you want as well. We keep this exclusive. We keep it for the right people, but it's the best thing that the people have come have ever done, and I hope that you get a chance to be a part of that. Let me know if I'm going to see you in Vegas, guys. Let's do this. August 19th, August 20th, Las Vegas. See you there.